want to rickroll your friend's Minecraft base? Of course you do. It's way easier than you might think. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to set it up. Let's take a look. The trigger can be any redstone signal, but for this, I've got a sculk sensor sitting right there. That triggers this, which feeds into these note blocks. The sculk sensor triggers... If you trigger it multiple times, it's not going to start the song multiple times. When you're done, it's going to look like this, with this being the surface level. There needs to be a block of air above the note blocks for them to make noise. And for positioning, the trigger needs to hook into this line. For it to sound correct, have them kind of facing in this direction because note blocks are directional. Let's say they have the button here. See, directional. If I face away, it gets really soft. So facing in this direction is good. If they're looking over this way, that's no good. And they don't need to be looking directly at it, just kind of facing in this direction. So for example, under here, we've got it sitting right underneath the base. This build is 14 blocks deep, 11 blocks wide, and you'll need a hole 5 blocks below the surface. Here's everything you need to get started. For the sound, you either use clay or grass blocks. They'll give a good sound. These spruce slabs, they can be any slabs or solid blocks. It's for someone to put all these repeaters and dust and everything. And you'll also need some building blocks of your choice. You can trigger this with anything that gives a redstone pulse, but for this exact build, I'll show you how to use the sculk sensor, use a water bucket to make it quiet, and then you'll need 16 wool and 2 additional redstone dust. Find or create a nice flat area, and if we're looking at where we want the build to go, we want to dig a hole that is 11 blocks from side to side and 14 blocks deep. Then go down an additional 3 blocks so that it is 4 blocks deep. Now grab your clay blocks, your spruce slabs, and your solid blocks. I'm using the sandstone just to make it easy to see. And this being the front, we come to the back corner, come in by 1, and your first clay block is going to be there, and your last slab is going to be here. So we're doing top slabs, and you're going to follow this pattern. Pause it if you need. So we want to get the pattern in first so that it makes it so much easier to figure out where everything needs to go later. On top of each of these clay blocks, you're going to put a note block later. If it's easier for you, you can put solid blocks where I have the spruce. Now we have the platform set out, it's time to put down our repeaters. So we're going to start right here with our first repeater, and it's going to follow a zigzag. So every block, the line is just going to go this way and that way, right until you'll get to the end here, and I'm going to stop there with a piece of redstone dust. So here's the diagram. The numbers represent the level of repeater, so 1 or 2. Other than the last repeater, all of them are going to be either 1 or 2. We don't want to be extending the pulse early. And then the circles are going to be where you put the redstone dust. We're putting down the repeaters first because I find it easier to tune the note blocks as you put them down. And then we finish off by putting our comparator there. And you should end up with something like this, where the repeaters go in the opposite direction each line. So it starts here, goes up, and the signal is going to go around like this. To make putting note blocks down easier, let's put in our pulse limiter for the start. Put a comparator here on subtract mode. We're on a repeater on 2 ticks, and then redstone dust on all these. Now, just for testing, grab a button of any sort so that when we're putting down the note blocks, we can press this and just test to make sure that the song is playing the way that we want it to. And to show you what happens, if we put the lamp down there, it does a quick burst. Even though everything else is still running, it only fires a short burst, a 2-tick pulse through there. So this is the schematic for the note blocks. Where it has a 0, it's literally just put it down. Don't tap it, don't do anything, just leave it. And then where it says 2, we'll put it down, then we hit it twice. 1, 2. And you're going to get something like this. So let's do this first line and we'll test from there. So now we have that. Let's test it. How good. So let's crack on and finish the rest of them. And then if we've done everything correct, we press this button and if there's an issue with any of the note blocks, just refer to the diagram. Let's say this one's wrong. I just put it down and retune it from there. It's easier than trying to figure out where you were and all that. So good job. We have gotten this far, but there's a problem. If we press this button and then press it again, so of course we need to put in some spam protection and then sort out the trigger. So let's start by taking off this because we don't need the testing anymore. I'm going to break this one just for now because we don't want to set the machine off as we're working. Let's go down to here so that we can put in these 2 blocks. Repeater on 2 ticks with redstone dust. Building block there with more redstone dust. Now let's clear out a little bit more space for ourselves. These are going to need to go right away to the edge here and up to here. So we're going to step this down and then the signal is going to come across to here. Put your 2 target blocks, redstone torch there, and then see the torch is there. We're going to put another redstone torch here and this line's going to go into here. We go all the way up, connect it in here. Then we need to put a repeater somewhere in here facing this way, just so that the signal doesn't go back and hit that note block. Just have it on 1 tick. You may need to move it later depending on what you want to do with your trigger. Off this torch, we need 3 blocks like this. And we're going to do our AND gate so that both the song has to finish and then also the trigger has to go. So we've got 2 torches here with dust here and a redstone torch there, which will go off. Now to reset the system, let's put that there. The song's going to play. It's going to come through here and all this is going to be off by default. This torch is going to go off, which means that it's ready. And then all we need to do for the trigger is turn this torch off. Let's say we have something up here. I don't know, there's a button that someone's going to press. We just stair step that down there. And you'll see if we press this, it's going to start it off. They can press it multiple times. It's not going to do anything until the song's finished. Now, because the button was still lit up, that's why it's going to press. So I don't really recommend having, say, a lever because it'll just, I mean, you could do it if you wanted to loop. You could send a continuous signal in. So it's just going to keep going until this lever's pressed off. If we want to do the sound trigger that I had, and that's why you have this repeater here. And then on top of this one here, just because that's where we're putting it, you can set it up however you want. We have our skulk sensor. So when someone walks near this, it's going to set it off. But the problem with the skulk sensor is that it can, sometimes the notes can set it off. So let's surround it with wool, waterlog it so that it doesn't make the sound. I mean, that's going to trigger it. But then if we cover it like this, they can be jumping over here, makes no sound. But if they walk anywhere near here, it's going to set it off. So how are you going to prank your friends?